Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Frame Fatales. There's a bit of a change of plans. Sadly, Random Pink Bunny's internet is still having some issues, but Tinnue is back with Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. Hello again, Tinnue.
Hey again. So hopefully this run goes a bit better than the last one. But let's see. So yeah, should I count down?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Disney's Aladdin. And this is our first stage called Agrabah Market. Everybody's favorite stage because a lot of resets happen on the stage. And what you're gonna see me do a lot, and I hope it's too loud with the controller noises, is we're gonna do a lot of cape mashing. Because the way this works is picking up this cape we just got. Every time we release the cape, it pushes you forwards by a bit. So that's 1 frame per cape mash. So it's not when you start running this game. You don't have to cape mash a hell lot, but it adds up over time. So if you want to have a really good time, you're gonna cape mash a lot. I know people that got bandages just for being able to cape mash in this game.
So you're seeing some people asking questions in chat. Specifically, will we be seeing Will Smith in this game?
Not in the game, but in the movie.
There's a new movie coming out.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm gonna watch. I mean, honestly, I think Will Smith gonna save this movie for a lot of people.
I do like Will Smith, and I bet he's going to do a good job, but Disney's Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie, so it's really hard to do it justice.
I mean, you can't just be like, oh, I'm trying to watch it without having any kind of expectations. That's normally not working that well. I mean, I really want to give it a chance, but I watched the trailers and I'm not fully convinced yet. So, first boss we have right here. We're gonna throw an apple in his face every time he wants to attack us. I love Apu's fighting animation, by the way. Pretty funny. Yeah, funny thing, and I mean, you might know that better than I, because I haven't played... I have played the Genesis version as a kid. That's the first one I played. I knew the Genesis version way before I knew this one. But I still haven't finished it, so I don't know how many bosses Genesis version has. But in this game, we only have 2 bosses. The first one and Jaffa, and Snake Jaffa.
I think that game also... Okay, it has 2, kind of 3. One that's like not even a boss, he's like a mini boss and you get him in a corner and just hit him a bunch of times.
Nice.
I've tried learning that game as a speedrun, so I know it pretty well. The correct version of Aladdin, for the record. Genesis does. Genesis represent!
I mean, honestly, I like both versions.
They're both very good. Like,
Yeah,
that's the thing, is people like to make it a situation of like, oh, this one's gotta be better than the other one.
Yeah.
No, they're both good. You can enjoy both.
I mean, I would have loved myself a sword like you have in the Genesis version. So we only have apples to deal damage. And yeah, what we're gonna do here is the log skip. You can do a double log skip, but that's really complicated to do. You really have to be on point with your movement. Yeah, but the log skip saves a bunch of time because we don't have to wait for the next log. We can just crouch under the spikes and make it through instead of waiting for the next log to come. Oh no, Apu! Infidel! Oh, it's all because of Apu. Why did you do that? So next stage we're gonna enter is everybody's favorite in speedruns. It's auto-scrollers, and we have 2 of them. But in this stage we're gonna try and collect as many gems as we can. Because once we hit 100 gems, we're gonna get 1 heart and a full health refill. And if we take care about our gem count, and if we collect gems correctly, we're gonna get that health refill just before the final boss fight. And we're not doing it in this run, but there is a death route for this game. And that one requires a death, obviously, and we're taking it in this stage. Pretty much because it's the fastest stage to do that. Because if we do that, we die right where the save is, like right here. We take a death here, so we start again at this point, and that's the fastest way to die. And to complete the death route, we take the death there, and then we're gonna have to apple 1 Yago at later in Palace 2 correctly. We have a specific way to apple this Yago. Yago is these birds that carry skulls and drop skulls on you. And if we die here, if we apple that Yago, and if we don't interact with anything that has RNG value after killing that bird, we're gonna keep the good RNG for the rest of the run. Which means we have a guaranteed good RNG on Jaffa. And that's pretty important if you're going for a good time. Like top runners don't do it because you have to die, and that's like between 3.5 and 4 seconds time loss. But yeah, if you want to have a low 17 or a 15, that's a good way to do it because you get rid of all the bad RNG. And the difference between getting good RNG on Jaffa and bad 8 seconds. That's a lot of time. So if you start running this game, you might consider learning the death route. And on this stage, I remember when I played this game casually for the very first time, I died a hell lot to this lava section. Because you want to make sure you are way at the right side, so the lava don't hit you, but you don't want to fly into the rocks or get hit by rocks falling down. It's a bit of a tricky section. Coming up is Genie stage. And we're gonna try to grab some more apples here. And we also want to make sure we don't have we have a certain amount of lives when we enter this one, because the way Genie okay, that's bad, I just moved for no reason. Yeah, so the pattern Genie gives us here depends on how many lives we have. So we don't want to have 0 lives or 4 lives, because then we get the slowest pattern we can get from Genie. So this time we're gonna wait. And we're gonna do a cloud jump, which skips the last few things he gives us. Saves about 3 seconds. So here we just want to try to get through as fast as possible, trying to hit some of these pot birds. And there are little tornadoes at the end of the stage, so we want to try and dodge them as well. Still trying to pick up some gems here and there just to keep up a good gem count. And make sure we're gonna get our health refill just before Jaffa. So this climb is actually not that bad. Because even if you're really fast at this climb, it's on a cycle, so as long as you make it in the cycle, you're just fine. Wing, wing. So here we also want to cape mesh a bit between those platforms. This one is actually faster to grab it. That's one we wanted to grab. Yeah, so I hope the cape meshing is not too loud. But it's whenever you have some flat ground, you want to cape mesh as much as possible.
It sounds fine.
It's not always clever though to cape mesh. Like you also have upslopes and downslopes in this game, and if you have a downslope, you wanna walk instead of cape meshing so you can keep your momentum. So this stage, the sand can be a bit tricky because you see it's going into two directions. Yeah, especially here, because some of those go to the right side and some of those push you back. So the next screen in particular can be a bit tricky. So we want to get there with as much health as we can. Because on this next screen, you have a lot of hooks and those are on a global timer. So if you mess up somewhere and you're in a different spot, you might grab one of those hooks by accident and then the chance to die is pretty high. So if you mess up one move, it can be tricky already. So yeah, you can see we don't want to grab them except very few of them. Oh, that can be bad. Okay, we still made it. This is a bit tricky. Because what we just did, we took 2 damage boosts from the spikes. And the way damage boosting works in this stage is a bit weird. You want to push the different direction 6 frames before you hit your damage source. So you make sure you're gonna get hit forwards. If you don't do that, it's gonna push you back. And especially with these rings being on a global timer, that can be really bad. Because then, like I said, you can grab one of these hooks by accident and then it messes with the whole global timer, so it can be really bad. So yeah, this is more of a chill stage, but we have to pay a little bit attention and try to grab as many gems as we can. We want to leave this stage with about 65 gems. It's like the minimum we want to have to be safe with the gem count. Oh, but since we took a death on Genie, we should find on gems. Yeah, we want to have like between 65 and 72, 73. It's a good amount of gems to have. So yeah, since we didn't go for the death route in this game, we have to see what pattern we get from Jaffa. If we get the bad one, it's plus 8 seconds. And we can also have some trolly birds. Some of these Yagos can be a bit trolly in the last screen of temples, so that's all things you can get rid of if you do the death route. So I really recommend doing it if you're out running this game. But yeah, we're actually gonna see the last stage, Skull Palace. We are gonna try and collect a few more gems, trying to dodge some attacks. Yeah, these stairs, like, they work the same as most down slopes. We want to run a bit of them, and if stairs go up, we want to jump to not get slowed down. Bit more cape mashing. So yeah, just like this. Whenever you have a situation like this, you want to jump. You don't want to run the whole thing up because it really slows you down a lot. So yeah, the way I killed this Yago is the very same way you do for the death route. As I said, you're gonna take one death in Lava Autoscroller, the first one, and then you wanna apple this bird, just the way I did. But then after that, you don't wanna interact with anything that has RNG value, so you don't wanna hit any of the pods lying around, or any of these Yagos coming up, because it can still mess us with your RNG. That one was actually pretty nice. He can be a bit trolly though, he can drop the skull very early. There's not much you can do. You're gonna get hit. Oh, and we got the refill pretty early. So normally I want to get it just after this damage boost coming up. So other direction, 6 frames before we hit the damage source. And now we enter Jaffa. Let's see what pattern we get. Mostly Jaffa's a troll, so... Oh! Oh, sorry for calling you a troll. We actually got a good pattern, which is pretty rare in marathon runs. And that one saves about 8 seconds. So if you get a bad pattern, he throws his cane, and then you have to do this attack, and then in the his second attack is always gonna be these pot birds, and then you can go up and do the quick kill on Jaffa. So our final fight is Snake Jaffa. He's gonna turn into a snake now. We're gonna try if we can get some kind of quick kill on him, which requires using the bouncing snake body to get up on top of his head. And we want to try and take more damage boost. Get on top of the head again, I missed it. Alright, 2 more hits. And done.
GG.
Thanks!
Your time was 17:44.
That's okay, it's just not too good, but it's acceptable with that one death we had.
What's the world record for this game?
World record is like 16:10 by the Hulk, so really good time. But yeah, everybody who knows Hulk, he's a really passionate and really good runner, and I learned a lot from him when I joined the Aladdin crew. So same as I said for CV4, if you want to run Aladdin, the community is pretty nice. Everybody is willing to help no matter what skill level you have. So I actually learned from the best people. I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you so much for your 2 runs. That's Tinnue with Castlevania 4 and then Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. Anything else you'd like to say, Tinnue? Any shoutouts?
Yeah, thanks to you for joining me with the commentary.
Oh, of course.
Thanks for having me at this event, and thanks for everybody watching. I wish I could have showed some better runs today, but I'm still trying to, get used to the whole marathon setting and be able to deal a bit better with my nerves. But
please, you did amazingly. And I think Chad agrees too.
I tried.
You did amazing.
I tried, but yeah, I had a lot of fun, so thanks everybody, and I hope you enjoy the next run as well.
So the next run will be Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. So the Final Fantasy IV Rando race. We are unfortunately pushing up the marathon schedule a bit because, again, Random Pink Bunny's Comcast internet is in the garbage where it belongs, and we have to push the marathon up. So we'll be right back with the Free Enterprise race. Don't go anywhere.